Yeah. Oh, you did? Did you get the baby?
They don't put it in there.
They don't do it anymore? We're from Publix?
Yeah, because some lawyers,
Somebody choked on it?
Of course.
I can't put a big warning label on it? Like, warning,
Baby, ruin it for everybody.
small baby doll inside.
That's why you cut a small, thin strip so that you see the baby.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March 4th, 2025 Oldsmar City Council meeting. I am calling this meeting to order. It is 7 p.m. Thank you for joining us. We're going to get started with our invocation and our pledge of allegiance to the flag. That will be led by our City Attorney, Tom Trask. Please rise.
Heavenly Father, send down your blessing on this meeting of the City Council and upon the individual members who comprise it. Give the council members a clear sense of duty and lead them to the faithful discharge of the same. Direct them in their deliberations at this meeting so that all things may be done for the health, safety, and welfare of the people of Oldsmar. This we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tom. Great job, as always. Next item on our agenda is the open forum. Each speaker will be recognized once and will be limited to a 5-minute comment on any subject that is not scheduled for a public hearing. The open forum will conclude at 7:30. If you have filled out a speaker card, please hand it to the city clerk. Filling out a speaker card is not mandatory, and you will still be given an opportunity to speak. When speaking, please state your name and address for the record. And the first person is Tom O'Shea.
Good evening, Tom O'Shea, 208 Lake Charles Court. I know the city's been working on a stormwater master plan for a while, and it's coming up near the end. And I noticed that on my water bill, the stormwater portion is only $11.50, and I'd be really excited to help make sure I get all those whatever projects that are needed done, so that way it doesn't flood as much in the city. If you need to raise my stormwater just a little bit, I'll be okay with that. And I also would like to say good luck to all the candidates next week on your election. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Steve Cardwell, come on up.
I'm Steve Caldwell, live at 1910 Montego Court, lived in Oldsmar for 18 years. This is my wife, Annette. I am the owner, operator of a new business, Bean Bus Coffee Creators. Find us at beanbus.co. My business is a mobile coffee shop, and I have been looking for steady places to operate. We spend many of our days at various events throughout northern Tampa Bay. We recently visited several thriving commerce centers dedicated to food trucks. These are called food truck rodeos. There are several located mere miles from here on Hillsborough Avenue corridor. Enterprising people, many of which are families, have taken vacant lots and empty shopping centers and created thriving commerce centers. From vacant lots and dead shopping centers, these gathering hubs have been created organically. There is music and lights and food and people when before there was only empty space, overgrown grass, and abandoned buildings. Now there is life. Oldsmar has several lots that are in need of this same life. But our code is seemingly restrictive. So I am here to petition the City Council to step in and adjust the code for the betterment of the citizens of the City of Oldsmar. I wish to have the following items reviewed and refined by the City Council before the end of this month. First item, Section 14.4.5, uses. Needs to define mobile food trucks. It currently says canteen, wagon, or truck with no mention of food vendors, yet food vendors are somehow restricted when other canteens, wagons, and trucks are not, except for the ice cream truck that seems to drive around without any restrictions whatsoever, even though that's a food truck. Second item, Section 14.4.7, fees. The fees for a temporary use permit need to be defined and applicable for the needed use so as not to put an undue burden on the requester. Third item, Section 14.4.2, permits. The power of temporary permits should be granted to the Director of Planning and Development. That board and its directors should have the final say on what businesses are allowed to operate inside the city whether it be a fixed location or a mobile business. Fourth and lastly, I would like to request that the abandoned roadway vacant lot to the east of City Hall, hopefully to be developed one day, but for the time being to be designated as a free trade area, and that food truck vendors be allowed to set up and utilize this unused street as a central food truck rodeo. I asked that Oldsmar create the first food truck court in Pinellas County. Hillsborough is already far outpacing us in the creation of this new food mobile culture art form. There are over 24 food truck plazas in Hillsborough County. The first plan for Pinellas County that I know of is to be in Clearwater. But Oldsmar can beat them to the punch if they will get moving and rescind these phony regulations. I would prefer to work in my own hometown, but if I have to, I will take my tax payments to Hillsborough and Clearwater if Oldsmar doesn't want my money and services. You have to change this short-sighted code that is blocking private enterprise. Thank you for listening to my request.
Thank you, guys. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak to the council? Jerry, you want to come up? David? Come on up, David.
Hello, everyone. My name's David Pratt, and I live at 204 Lexington Street. And I just want to come up and say, on everybody's mind, the election's over in a week. And I just want to say, win or lose, this has been quite a memorable experience. It's been enjoyable. I've met a lot of new acquaintances, made a lot of new friends, knocked on hundreds of doors. And I'll tell you, the residents of Oldsmar are just super. They are the heart and soul of this community. And I've enjoyed it so much, just getting to meet people. So I just think we got to keep that in mind, the citizens of Oldsmar, and how much they mean to the community, and they make me proud that I'm a member of the community. I also want to thank the city council. They've been really helpful and supportive of me and friendly, and anything I've needed, they've answered my questions. So I really appreciate all your help, and especially Kristen over here, who's guided me through so many, many troubles. So I would just want to say thank you, and good luck to everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, David. Jerry, did you want to come up?
Jerry Beaver on 512 Pine Avenue South. You know, when I walked in the door here, I realized you got a air conditioner problem. So I'm not the only one in town that I have problems. Y'all know this lady?
Yes.
She's been in town since 1972, 73. Huh? Well, you were here in the 70s. Oh, Bob was here in the 70s. You had to be here in the 70s. Well, it doesn't matter. If I say she was here in the 70s, she was here in the 70s. Your spirit. Every time I've asked her to help, she's been right there. I asked her to be on council with her one time, and she says, I'll be up there and swear me in. Incredible lady. You all got my email. I'm only here tonight to ask a favor, that you would allow the city clerk and the council to write a letter of thank you. You know who I'm talking about. And for all they've done for the city. Thank them with a letter signed by the whole council and the city manager, if you would, please. And then a plaque. These people are extremely private. That's why I asked for a monument, but that'll never fly. That's how private they are. You know that what I have written, they have donated not 10,000, not 50,000, over $100,000 to the city, and never taken a thank you. Never wanted that. That's how private they are. So if you would ask the city manager to draft a letter of thank you for all they've done since they've been here in the 70s. Just thank you. And a plaque thanking them. If you would do that, allow the city manager to write it up, and then y'all sign it, including the charter officials Mr. Trask. If you do that, I'd appreciate it. They're in bad shape, bad health. But they deserve it. Okay? So if you do that, I would appreciate it. That's the favor I ask.
Jerry, thank you for coming up. I don't have I don't have a problem with that, and I'm gonna speak out here for you because I know what they did for us for Veterans Park, and I'm gonna ask the rest of the council, are you okay with, doing that, writing a letter?
Well, we just adopted a policy on how you are to do recognitions. So I think we need to take a look at that policy, determine the proper process that you should go through. You just adopted that within the last month or two.
So Jerry, why don't we'll add it to the agenda and we'll go
That's
from
fine.
there at the next meeting, but I agree with you, it should be done.
And I will take it down there. That's how private they are. And I will take you down there to meet them. I'll take you down there to meet, I'll take any of y'all down there to meet them if you want. I'd be happy to. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Sherry.
Is there anybody else who'd like to speak to the council?
There's no microphone?
There should be-
No, but I like the microphone.
It might be down.
It's
broken.
not, it's not
Not
working.
broken?
broken.
It's supposed to be on Daniel's elite
like
team.
Lucy.
Now I can't.
Hold that.
You can hold that up.
if you want.
That's awkward too. I
Yes.
don't know. All right, I'll try my best then. Amber Stevens, 318 Lafayette Boulevard. I just want to go over the Oldsmar Parks and Rec community survey results. So I hope all of you were able to take it. If you did, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So just going to go over a couple of questions, not every single one. Question 1, what are the most important amenities in a park to you or your family? Not really a surprise. First one was playgrounds, open green space, and picnic shelters. Question 2, what recreational activities do you or your family enjoy most? Not going to go over every answer, but just kind of the categories. We have sports and fitness, which was top choice, playgrounds and kids' activities, and more of a nature theme, walking, hiking, and water activities. Question 3, what type of special events would you like to see that help connect people and build a stronger community? Again, not going to go through every question, just categories. Arts, culture, entertainment, community building events, food-related events, fitness, sports, and outdoor activities, inclusive activities, and holiday and seasonal celebrations. Question 5, this is my favorite one. What are the most needed improvements that could be made to our existing parks if money was available? So we have maintenance and safety, playgrounds and recreational areas, dog parks, fitness and sports, water features, landscaping, parking and accessibility, indoor event facilities, community education programs, and specific park upgrades to various parks. Not this one. Sorry. Oh, what is the best way to communicate information about parks and recreation programs and other information to your household? Social media was the best way. Facebook was the highest choice, followed by email notification and Oldsmar, Florida government website. And I want to go over question 10 because it says, what barriers keep you from participating in parks and recreational activities? And I know staff is really perplexed about this one because over the past several years, this always comes up as the top choice. It is lack of knowledge regarding services. And I know staff is perplexed because quarterly, all the magazines are sent out to every address in Oldsmar. All these events are blasted on social media. I mean, pretty much every time I log in, I do see it. And it's on the marquee sign, so I'm also kind of at a loss. So if any of you have any ideas, I would encourage you to talk to staff about that, what that could be. And overall, how satisfied are you with the availability of various recreational and sports programs in the city of Oldsmar? 95% were either neutral, satisfied, and very satisfied. So I know staff was really happy with those results. And that's all I have for about survey results. So you want to have any questions that I might be able to answer for you? Staff could probably answer it for better, but okay.
Thank you, Amber.
Well, with that, laissez table to rouler. Let the good times roll. Happy Mardi Gras, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amber.
Anybody else like to speak to the council? Come on up.
Hello, my name is John Durrell. I live on Lemonwood Drive. I'm an economist, and I love Oldsmar. Actually had a speech. I'll just take notes. I had some stuff to say, but I'm going to deviate a little bit based on some things that I've seen personally and other people have told me, and my wife and others. First of all, I want to just encourage everyone to vote. No matter who you vote for, get out there and vote. The people watching at home on YouTube, March 11th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I believe there's 3 polling stations galore, the library and the rec center. So check for your precinct on Pinellas, the county voting website. So over the past 3 years, I've gotten to know Mayor Dan as my neighbor and as my friend, and talked to him a lot about what the residents want for this community, and a vision of really listening to their needs and making it happen from the council level. And a lot of people don't understand how council works. We have 5 council people: Katie, Andrew, Dan, Val, and Steve, and each person has 1 vote. So Mayor Dan gets a lot of hate for mowing ditches or sidewalks or infrastructure, and each member of council is equally responsible for these things. I believe the salary is probably around $1,000 for each person, maybe less. So no one up here is doing it for the money. I know Dan puts in 40+ hours a week. So I just would like people to know how the structure of the town council works. And whoever wins the next election, we do need to address a lot of the concerns that residents bring up in regards to maintenance and management, and even small things like food trucks. There's no reason for us not to have food trucks. So, yeah, I just wanted to remind people this is a local election, and a lot less votes are obviously cast, a lot less attention in the national elections, but it's literally close to home, and these are the elections where we can have our voice heard, and we can really make a difference. So whoever wins, whoever you vote for, come on out, bring a friend, vote, 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 March 11th. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Anybody else like to speak for the open forum? I will close the open forum. The next item on our agenda is the community minute, and that will be read by our city clerk, Kristen Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. The pop-up art project, Show Your Love for Oldsmar by picking up a heart at City Hall, the library, or the Recreation Center now, and create a love note to the city. Make it real, make it fun, make it beautiful. And you can drop off creations April 1st to 15th at the locations I mentioned. The Oldsmar Historical Museum has a call for artifacts. In honor of Veterans Appreciation Month, the Historical Museum is seeking artifacts from the community that reflect service in the United States Armed Forces. Examples include pens, medals, recruitment, posters, etc., and they can be dropped off at the library circulation desk during normal hours at the museum. And Party in the Park is this Friday, March 7th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Ari Olds Park. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Next item is approval of additional new agenda items 4 and 6. I'll entertain a motion. I got a motion, a second, any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next item is awards and recognition, and this is a great opportunity because for I don't know how long, the Chamber of Commerce has always been able to pick this award, and now we brought it to the council, and Councilmember Gannon is the first one to be able to pick who she wants, so you have the floor.
Turn it on.
Oh, jeez. I feel so powerful. So I actually don't remember that. I remember picking in the past. I've picked a couple of businesses in the past. I know the chamber used to suggest different potential awardees, but I've always picked. And this time, I actually have the pleasure of picking someone related to my prior pick. I'm recently, my last pick was actually Nicole Williger. And she has done something really cool. She connected the city of Oldsmar and the Oldsmar Alliance with a business called Three Brothers New York Pizza. And I want Sean and his brother Keith to come up here so they can stand awkwardly while I talk about them. And the reason I want to do this is because I want you guys to know who these gentlemen are, not just for the 3 seconds that they're up here to take a photo while holding, the award. It's important to me that you guys are recognized, because as it turns out, they've actually never been recognized. And I find that so difficult to believe, because I'm going to read a little bit about y'all. And you'll see why, too. So they grew up in a small town, upstate New York, not Buffalo.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Not
It still
Buffalo.
counts.
And their parents, I talked to Sean last week, and he said his parents were hard workers, earned everything in his hometown, much like Oldsmar. Everyone helped each other. Everyone helped each other. And he said it wasn't a government thing. It was just one hand helps the other. And that really resonated with me, because I feel like that does describe Oldsmar. One hand helps the other. He said his father worked on Wall Street. They consistently gave food away to the homeless and instilled into the family the importance of the need to give back. And it truly is a family business, not just Three Brothers Pizza, but others. I'll get to that in a second. It's my understanding Mom does payroll, sister-in-law and your wife, and sometimes even the kids work at the stores. There's the Palm Harbor and Odessa locations. And I wanted to give a little bit of background. So you guys might remember after the hurricane, there was, well, both hurricanes and the flash flood and all the other things that happened. There was an event that Nicole Williger helped organize over at Veterans Park. It was huge. It was bigger than anybody expected it to be. People came with cases and cases of water, cleaning supplies, bins for clothes, people to store things. It was unbelievable, the outpouring of support. And there, somewhere in the stacks of food, were 40 pizzas from Three Brothers. And it didn't stop there, because then we started holding, with the help of Nicole Mackin and with the help of our city clerk, Kristen Garcia, these food hall events, or you could call them a food court, over at Tico Hall at the library. 30 pizzas here, 30 pizzas there. And all of a sudden, Three Brothers is literally feeding Oldsmar on a consistent basis. But there's more. And I found out tonight that you guys weren't even asked to do this. Three Brothers volunteered to provide a Thanksgiving dinner for anyone in the community at the United Methodist Church. And they didn't even blink. They said, don't you want to be at home with your families? No, he says. My family will be there. We all work together. And there were people, Sean said to me, if you put myself in that scenario, I come home from evacuating and I find my house 4 feet underwater. Can't even imagine it. We could give them some food so they don't have to worry about at least that. Powerful. And Oldsmar is just a slice, forgive the pun, I can't help myself, I'm a writer, of what these guys do, okay? You might know Tree Brothers as in Christmas trees over at the Oldsmar Flea Market. That's them too. It's my understanding there's also a bakery on the way. They can't, and maybe they'll tell us a little bit more about that, but they literally don't stop, because they've also fed the Pinellas County Park Rangers. They've sponsored the Oldsmar Elementary School and Forest Lakes Elementary School and Carwise Spirit Nights multiple times. That's when they offer to donate a portion of the sales of pizza or whatever is purchased for the school to just raise money for internal purchases. So it's a big deal. A lot of our area restaurants do it. And also, they are sponsoring the Honor Our Heroes 5K coming up in May. I keep hearing all these little details. And then tonight I hear, we also fed St. Joseph's Hospital. I said, oh, really? St. Joseph's Hospital, wow. It's like the Odessa location, St. Joseph's North? And he says, no, all of them. All of them? Okay, maybe in hindsight that was a little bit nuts, but 15,000 people Okay. We're truly, truly feeding our community here. So tonight, I want to celebrate Three Brothers Pizza and their contributions to our community, because a slice of pizza to them and to us is more than just food for the tummy, but truly feeds the soul. Thank you for being there for our residents in their worst hours. Thank you for continuing to be there, because they're still there. It's still a hurricane for many of these people. They clearly exemplify what happens when our local businesses come together and unite to help the residents of Oldsmar. So now we get to take a fun, awkward picture.
Hey, and thanks for the pizza.
They also graciously brought us pizza tonight. Give this to Sean and his brother Keith here, and I will join you in just a second. But in the back of the room here, they also brought us pizza tonight. And you guys need to know that this probably makes you the coolest Business of the Quarter recipients ever, because nobody's ever brought food. Yes, be the trendsetter. So let's take a quick picture, and then I would love for you to just say maybe just a few words.
You do a group picture?
Do you want me? Oh, come this way.
Are you guys gonna
Try to get like right.
slide? Okay. Now we're good.
Oh, come on, you're brothers. You can touch each other.
All right. Take a couple here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you.
Okay, this is awkward to hold, but I want you to give it a go. No, you can just talk. It's dangerous.
Well, I just want to say thank you for everybody and Dave and everyone here. Thank you for this opportunity. And this is not why we do this, and we just try to help out as many people as we can. And we've been doing this for 10 years now, so this has been an ongoing support, especially with, we just did the fire stations. We fed every single fire station in Pinellas, Hillsborough, and we just try to give them back as much as we can, and that's just what we're kind of known about now. Is just, you know, we don't really go for the recognition. There's some things that we post on Facebook, but we just kind of just keep on trying to push forward and especially think outside the box and help out as many people as we can, and especially when times are in need during COVID. I mean, it's just, the list goes on, and you know, at least like this will kind of be a little distraction, so they don't have to worry about the mess. So I just want to say, like, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I just really, we're here for support, and you know, just let us know. You know? So thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, you get to keep it. Are you kidding me? Display it
It's just a-
proudly.
it's a prop.
May it be one of many, many awards to come to both of you.
Great job, Councilmember Gannon. Thank you. Next is our consent docket. This will be read by our city clerk, Kristen Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 2, consider approval of minutes of February 18th, 2025 council meeting. Item 3, approve reappointments of regular members Peggy Allison and Rita Clark to the Code Enforcement Board.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to pull anything from the consent docket? And I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion from Vice Mayor and a second from Councilmember Knapp. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Tom, you got anything today?
No, sir.
Day off. Next is our city manager, Felicia Donnelly. You have the floor.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. It's my pleasure to ask Chip Potts to come up to the lectern to give a recap of the state BMX race event, and also we added some other things to the presentation. So you guys are going to also hear about the impact of the USAA baseball events as well at the Oldsmar Sports Complex.
All right. Good evening, Council. Chip Potts, Department of Parks and Recreation. And I am here tonight to give a brief review of some recent events we held at the Oldsmar Sports Complex and the economic impact that they've had on the city. Because it's good news. Parks and Rec is always good news, right? Yes, I like that. Everybody's nodding their heads. Excellent, excellent. Well, as we all know, the city hosts numerous sports events over the course of the year at the sports complex. And outside of our Little League, soccer, and our football programs, we have other agencies that come in as partners to help promote activity at the complex, and they have a positive economic impact on our city for sure. These partners include USSSA Baseball and USA BMX. So USSSA baseball tournaments. These weekend baseball tournaments are held once a month year-round, except for July and August when it's a little too hot and the rain is out there. But so that equates to about 10 times per year that we host a 2-day tournament at that facility run by USSSA and a gentleman you probably all know locally, John Grant. He's our spearhead for that program. So these tournaments bring in teams from all around the region and the local area for 2 full days worth of games. So we're just one part of the bigger picture of the county program here. USSSA, when they come in, they have sites all throughout the county, Safety Harbor, Largo, St. Pete, Dunedin, and other locations as well. So we are just one part of that bigger picture. Typically, the tournaments that are hosted at the sports complex bring in about 30 teams. So this translates into just over 400 players, about 120 coaches, and 10 umpires. So if you use a conservative multiplier of maybe 1.5 people per player, that comes out to about 600 spectators that are there just to watch the games. So you add that to the 400 that are there to play the games, and that's about 1,000 people that come to the city for that 2-day event over the course of the weekend, with an estimated probably 15% being from out of town. So what is that economic impact? Using the Florida Recreation and Park Association Economic Impact Calculator, it's estimated that the positive economic impact that these tournaments have is about $19,000 a month on our restaurants, convenience stores, and shopping centers. And it also works out for Oldsmar Little League because they have the opportunity to run the concession stand and do some pretty significant fundraising for their organization. I say that's not bad for a weekend tournament. And don't forget, this happens 10 times a year, so take that as a multiplier as well. Moving on to one of our more recent signature events at the sports complex, USA BMX hosted the Florida State Series there at the complex the weekend of February 7th through the 9th. This was a 3-day event with racing on Saturday and Sunday. Very successful. We had 766 individual riders, which equated to 961 entries on Saturday and 900 entries on Sunday. Long days, but they were very, very well attended, and the ridership was very, very, USA BMX was very happy, put it that way. So using a tool called Placer AI, okay, you may have heard of Placer AI, but this is it's a tool that measures customer foot traffic by geofencing cell phone data around the facility. Oh. So USA BMX has invested in this Placer AI so they can precisely see how many people are actually entering that facility. It's not just a guess. They know from cellular data that this many people have pinged into the facility. Whoa. So over the course of the weekend, that turned out to be about 5,300 individual visits, with Saturday and Sunday obviously being the busiest. Wow. That's cool. So some other interesting data that they were able to provide to us is in this graph right here. And as you can assume, this type of event has a significant economic impact locally, not only due to the volume of visitors, but the out-of-town visitors as well. So all those out-of-town visitors, they're staying at our hotels, they're visiting our restaurants, they're going to our entertainment venues and our shops. And again, using the information from Placer AI, what you see here is what the attendees were doing immediately prior to and then immediately after our event, which is that circle in the middle. That's our event. So from this graph, you can see that prior to the event, when you look at the percentages, 51% of the attendees were doing a leisure activity, shopping, or dining. And then immediately after the event, if you look on the right, 16.1% went home. That means 84% stayed somewhere to go shopping, entertainment, or eat, or spend money after the event. So those are pretty cool statistics. And the Placer AI is a very unique tool. It's kind of new to us, but it tracks where you are exactly beforehand, when you go to the event, and where your phone basically stops. So if you're driving somewhere, it knows you're driving, and then when you stop at the restaurant, it knows you went to a restaurant. You go to the movie theater, it knows you went to an entertainment area. So this is very specific and very good information from USA BMX that they were able to provide to us. So what is our economic impact from the state race here? Using the Florida Recreation and Park Association Impact Calculator, It's estimated that the positive economic impact from this event was over $525,000 just for that weekend event. So I'd say that's pretty decent. So between the BMX event and the monthly baseball tournaments, I think those two alone provide a good picture of what that economic impact is from the Oldsmar Sports Complex. So, excuse me, let me go back. So to close out, we truly value our partnerships with these organizations. We look forward to continuing to work with those organizations and host their events here in Oldsmar. And we certainly appreciate all the work they do, along with our city staff, to make these unique and active experiences possible. So I'll entertain any questions if you have questions. Otherwise, we're very proud of what we're able to do out there, and we're very happy to have those partnerships to be able to bring that kind of impact from an economic standpoint into the city.
That's really cool.
So
Thank you, Chip. Any questions? Great job, man.
thank you.
Thanks for bringing the baseball statistics too. That's great.
Yeah, that was good. And that again, the consistency of that group, it just 10 months out of the year, it's really good. Because you know why? It starts in parks.
Thank you. Item number 5.
Item number 5, Mayor, is to consider the approval of a renewal of the 5-year joint facility use agreement with Pinellas County School Board. So the city and Pinellas County entered into a joint facility use agreement in 2020 to permit each party to utilize each other's facilities, such as classrooms, gyms, program rooms, athletic fields for activities. This partnership positively benefits both parties, as well as the community, by providing additional facility space. During the term of this agreement, Pinellas County School Board may utilize city facilities at no cost during the normal operating hours and when there's no conflict with city programs. The city may use school facilities at no cost from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. for outdoor activities and 12 to midnight for indoor activities and when there is no conflict. Uses outside of these timeframes will result in direct costs to the user based on facility rates. By considering this agreement, the city will confirm its intent to renew the joint use of facilities agreement. The signed letter will be submitted to Pinellas County School Board for execution. Both the renewal letter and the current agreement have been reviewed by the city attorney. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. City Clerk, you're next. Do you have anything for us?
There's one other thing.
One more. Number 6.
Item 6. I'm so sorry.
Item number 6, Mayor, is consider adopting Resolution 2025-07, extending the temporary waiver of permit fees for fences and plan review fees for flood review and zoning review until June 1st, 2025. On September 24th, 2024, the governor of the state of Florida declared a state of emergency for Pinellas County in response to the dangers posed by Hurricane Helene. This declaration was followed by a local state of emergency in Oldsmar, where significant damages were recorded, impacting both private and public infrastructure and properties. On November 5th, the council adopted Resolution 2024-49, temporarily waiving the following fees for a period of 100 days, beginning September 27th and ending March 27th. The fees that were waived were $50 permit fee for fences, $75 plan review fee for flood review, and $30 plan review fee for zoning review. These fees are incorporated in the Planning and Redevelopment Fee Schedule adopted under Resolution 2024-38. City recommends the adoption of Resolution 2025-07, which will extend the temporary waiver fees to coincide with the date established by Pinellas County of June 1st, 2025. The waiver will be effective from September 24th, 2024, and end on June 1st, 2025. Resolution 2024-49 will be repealed upon the adoption of Resolution 2025-07. I'll read the resolution by title only. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, temporarily waiving the permit fees for fences and the plan review fees for flood review and zoning review in the Planning and Redevelopment Fee Schedule adopted under Resolution 2024-38 from September 27, 2024 until June 1st, 2025, repealing Resolution 2024-49 and providing for an effective date hereof. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Go ahead.
I have a motion and a second.
Fails.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now it's Kristen. Anything for us?
No, Mayor, I don't have any items. Thank
All
you.
right. Item 7, consider appointment of Kathy Minter to the Noise Abatement Working Group. Is Kathy here? I don't think she's here. All right, well then I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Do you want to do any background or just go forward?
You did it last meeting, but if you'd like to, Councilor Knapp,
just-
go
I
ahead.
added it to the agenda.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, at the last meeting, Councilmember Knapp notified us that technically, all the other members of the Noise Abatement Working Group were not elected officials, and that there was an Oldsmar resident who was regularly, consistently attending the meetings of the working group and also interested in continuing to do so. And so it was, you weren't fired,
I know.
but.
Well, not
but-
yet. He
It was a
hasn't been yet.
reorg.
It was a reorganization. It became evident that perhaps it might be more appropriate to empower and engage our resident, Kathy Mintier, to attend on behalf of the city of Oldsmar and on her own behalf. And so we added to the agenda appointing her to the Noise Abatement Working Group. And I have an understanding that Councilmember Knapp spoke to Kathy, and she agreed and is excited about this. Although she is not present here tonight, she, of course, would accept it. So, saying that, then I'll make my own motion to approve appointment of Kathy Mintier to the Noise Abatement Working Group.
Second.
Do you want to add anything else to it, Andrew?
It's been a pleasure to serve on there. It's definitely been difficult to kind of make that work because they meet Wednesdays at 3, which just with the work schedule is a bit of a challenge. But yeah, Kathy's been there at every meeting that I was there and the ones that I weren't there. And I know she's passionate about these issues and will serve the entire city well on that board. And as Councilmember Gannon pointed out, it's just as kind of the outlier of being the only elected official on there. It's pretty much all airport staff, airport operations, and citizens from around the region. So just makes sense. So I'm thankful to have been a part of it, but I know Kathy will do as well.
Wonderful. I got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item on our agenda is council comments. And first is Councilmember Andrew Knapp.
All right. So I'm going to keep it brief because I'd like to go see my daughter at Mardi Gras. To David and Sean, best of luck to both of you. I know each of you would serve us well up here and sitting next to me. I look forward to seeing the results next week. And again, like I said, wish you all well. To Katie, when we first ran, we ran together. One of us got in, one of us didn't. But I knew that I was set on wanting to get up here and serve alongside you, and I'm glad I was able to sit next to you. So we will see how things go. And to Mayor Dan, you were the first person that I really reached out to, and she was probably the second one, once I knew I was running, to talk about service and get to know the ins and outs of what it's like to be up here. So for that, I'm ever grateful. And it's just for the last 5 years, it's been an absolute pleasure to serve alongside both of you. I know only one of you will continue on beyond next Tuesday, but it'll be, the city will be in good shape regardless. So that's all I have.
I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. All right, next we have Councilmember Katie Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple quick things. The Ford Pinellas School Transportation Safety Committee meeting is tomorrow morning, so I will have to potentially report those pieces of information via email to the city manager. And we recently had the Suncoast League of Cities meeting, a couple important things. They will be sending the weekly email that we always get during legislative session on Mondays at 7 p.m. They will have the legislative update via Zoom. I have that Zoom information. I will give it to the city clerk so anybody can call in and just hear what's going on that week. They're also doing visits to Tallahassee. You can sign up for a particular week that works for you if you're interested. You don't have to go with the Suncoast League of Cities to go to Tallahassee. You can get in your car and go to Tallahassee. But if you would like to go with the Suncoast League and one of the legislative committee members, feel free to ask Kristen and I will provide her that information. The Suncoast League of Cities has meetings up until, but they also have the more popular event that y'all are invited to attend, which is the annual legislative award dinner at Feather Sound on May 16th. So more information to come on that. But that's usually a good one. Senator Ed Hooper was previously awarded at that dinner. So it's a nice event. Okay, on to the last things. It has been an absolute honor to sit in this chair. I have had the honor of serving with all of you, as well as the prior, council with, Councilmember Buckman, Councilmember McGee, Mayor Seidel. It's been quite a journey. I have learned so much. I have met so many people. I have had the time of my life, honestly, serving this community. And God willing, I will be able to continue to serve it in an elected capacity. But if not, don't worry, I won't be lost. I'll just be talking to you from over there instead of from up here. And I'll only have 5 minutes to talk, which Vice Mayor might appreciate.
What are you talking about? I mean, she's not wrong. I'm just saying.
I'm not wrong. But it has been quite the privilege. Something that became, on a whim and a dream suggested, to me by former Mayor Seidel, actually, when coming from the then Leisure Services Advisory Board, you should be up there. And a little seed was planted. And it's so funny though, I ran against, everybody knows, I ran against former Mayor Jerry Beaverland. And at the time, he told me, run against Dan. And I said no.
Oh.
I said no. I don't know if you know that story.
No, I didn't know that.
And I said no. Anyway, the rest is history, and here we are. So I'm just so grateful to all of you and to all of our citizens for placing their trust in me, placing their confidence in me, continuing to communicate with me. It's been an amazing journey, and I hope to continue to serve up here. Mayor Siraki, I don't know what's going to happen. I have had the privilege of serving up here with you for 2 terms, and then, just getting to know you. Your wife, Paula, is an absolute gem. She continues to serve in the Women's Club and in so many other capacities as well. So thank you for everything that you and your wife continue to give to the city and continue to do for these people in this community. Really appreciate you. So whoever wins out there, these 2 fine gentlemen, thank you so much for participating in our elections, for standing up and being willing to run. It is hard. We have all learned a lot. Everybody always asks me, well, what's it like to run? Well, harder than it is to serve. But I applaud you both for getting up and doing it. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of time, and it's important that our city continues to have folks like you who are interested and involved and willing to advocate on behalf of others. It's a selfless, wonderful thing to do, and I'm so grateful that you're willing to do that. So in any event, I will let those be my words for now. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you at the Mardi Gras.
Thank you. Councilmember Valerie Tedeschi.
All right, I'll try to keep it short, but I just want to echo similar comments. Good luck to the candidates sitting out there, David and Sean. I know firsthand how hard it is to run a campaign because I did it back to back, and then I got off easy this time. I ran unopposed, but good luck. I know those nerves get to you. We're all excited to see what happens. But either way, our council will have the pleasure of serving with you, so I'm excited for the new incomers. And then to Katie and Dan, I just want to say a personal thank you to both of you. You've been very welcoming and helpful to me as a new council member, and so thank you to both of you, just in your own unique ways, welcoming me and helping me along this journey, which you say it's easier to run or easier to serve than it is to run, but they're both a challenge.
In different
and
ways,
it's
yeah.
a constant flow of information. And so I know we haven't always agreed or seen eye to eye, and we've had some difficult conversations just in the few short months that I've been up here, but it's been a pleasure serving with both of you. And so good luck next Tuesday.
Thank you. And then Vice Mayor, I just want to say thank you for the last year. You've been a great Vice Mayor for me.
Thank you.
I appreciate you showing up at a couple events that I couldn't attend, and I really appreciate it, and you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. No, it's a pleasure to serve as Vice Mayor. I just, Sean and David, trust me, when you first get up here, the work's going to hit you, and it's fast. And I know Andrew's going to give you some of the hardest time you've ever imagined possible in the history of your life, which he's done to me for 4 years now.
It's coming.
Right. I just but it's tough. Sean, I know you've done it before, going through the election process, but it's difficult. And you finally get up here, you're like, oh man, that's good, that's over. It's like, wait a minute, and you have to be ready to go for the first meeting. But embrace it and try to get some sleep and look forward to Tuesday, and let the results come. To Councilmember Gannon, thank you for keeping it under 10 minutes tonight. That was your joke, not mine. And to Mayor Siraki. Mayor Siraki, I started sitting next to you. The chair has changed over, was it 3 times now in those 4 years. Councilmember Gannon, several exchange looks from this part of the dais to the other over the last 4 years. I've appreciated every single one of them, whether they were scorn towards my way or otherwise. But I've enjoyed it, and I've learned from both of you quite a bit as we've gone through this. Council changing over has happened since I've been up here. It's always exciting, but it's also bittersweet because it is people that, the people that may have to leave or people that we've worked with, we come to know, become friends with, and we've certainly been colleagues with. So best of luck to all 4 of you. I will be watching. I believe all of us will be, but that's all I had, Mayor. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Mayor. I just have a couple things. I want to just touch on the Suncoast. I thought that Zoom meeting was kind of short.
It was.
Wasn't it? It was like 10 minutes long?
I was
I
surprised.
was like surprised. I thought it was, when I ran, it was like an hour.
Yeah.
But it was changed. But anyways, I wanted to mention the travel program. As a mentor for that, I want to go, whatever happens, of course, with our election. But I've done it in the past where you take a newly elected official to Tallahassee and you take them up there and you actually help them speak to the House representatives and the Senate representatives. It's a really good program, and anybody can go. Whatever happens, happens. But I love the Suncoast, and I really would like to go to that awards dinner. Those are always fun. So last week, Thursday, I attended, the PSTA launched the Grouper. Have you guys heard about the Grouper? So the Grouper is an airport express bus service from the St. Pete Airport to Clearwater Beach, and a single ride is only $8. You can go online to psta.net and make a reservation, or you can just show up and say, I need a ride to my hotel. The Grouper bus service will take you to any of the hotels on Clearwater Beach, $8 single, $20 for 3 to 4 people, and up to 8 people is $30. So it's a lot less than Uber. It was launched last week, Thursday. It's so far what I've heard is people are using it during spring break. It's really a success. Also last Thursday, I attended the MPOAC, the Metropolitan Planning Organization Advisory Council. And one of the best things about the meeting I wanted to share with everybody is the rail. They are talking about the rail priorities for 25. They're talking about bringing the train system from Orlando to the Tampa airport. That's the study they're doing right now. They're trying to figure out the cost, federal funding to do that. And then it's going to go down to Naples, Fort Myers, Naples area. So that's in the works. And then there's also future 26, 27 later on to Jacksonville, Tallahassee. So the rail system is starting to come around. I did speak to the gentleman about coming to Oldsmar and maybe the Clearwater the new Clearwater Transit Center that's being built right now in Clearwater. It doesn't look like that's going to happen in the future. I was kind of disappointed about that. And then I wanted to share that with you. And then yesterday was the first day of legislation season. I don't know if you guys are watching what's going on. There's a lot of crazy bills. It's just the beginning. But I want to do a special shout out and a thank you to Senator Ed Hooper. I met with him on Thursday night, and House Representative Adam Anderson, Ed Hooper, and Michael Owen. He is a House representative in Hillsborough County. He's out of Apollo Beach. They are working on a $2 million local funding project for the dredging of Old Tampa Bay and Safety Harbor. So basically what they're going to do is they're trying to get funding to dredge from the Safety Harbor Marina to the Jack Willie's area, which is in the works, and Ed Hooper is leading that $2 million local funding project. That would be a great economical impact for the city of Oldsmar if that goes through. It's really good news. It's just in the beginning stages, but I'm hoping that Ed shared that with me when I met him Thursday. So I'm really happy about that, and I wanted to share that. And then last but not least, I have been on the council here for 10 years. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Janice Miller passed away. I had run for city council and lost to Gabby, and Janice Miller had passed away, so I ran for her seat, and I won that seat in in January of 2015. So I've been up here for 10 years. I want the people of the city to understand one thing, that I love the city. I love the city staff. I love everyone that sits up here. I really enjoyed working with each and every one of you. As Valerie said, we don't all agree sometimes, but I think we've always been cordial. We've always been professional. I don't think we've ever been rude to anyone. We've always respected each other's decisions, and we've always respected each other. And that's all I have to say. I don't have any idea what's going to happen next week. I went door to door. I knocked on so many doors, and every door, somebody had something different to say. No one said the same thing. So it's kind of no idea. Same thing when I ran against Mayor Sadell. I did not think I was going to win, and here I am 3 years later. But I just want you to know that I wish David, Sean, I wish you guys luck too. And Katie, I agree. I really enjoy working with you. I think you're a very intelligent woman. I think you're amazing. I think you're a great mother to your children. I've watched you when I was Santa for the kids. I see what you've done with your family. I have the most respect for your parents. I met your father in Gull Air. He was knocking on a door. I was right behind him. I'm like, did you just knock on that door? And he goes, yeah, well, so did I. So it's been a unique thing, and I just wish everyone luck, and God bless the city of Oldsmar. Thank you very much. Next item on our agenda is the consent doc, hold on here. Consider the tentative agenda for the March 18th, 2025 council meeting. Does anybody wish to add that for me for Jerry Beaverland?
Yeah, I'd like to add, consider recognition of the Kumar family for their contributions to Veterans Park.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to pull anything else or add anything else? Then I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
So, yeah, with the.
With the, as amended.
Somebody's got to do this if I'm not
I know,
up here. Come on.
But shouldn't that be your response? Like, go ahead and let's do it.
I make a motion to approve the tentative agenda as amended to include Andrew Knapp's item regarding recognizing the Kumar family
So
and their
much
contributions
enthusiasm.
to Veterans Park. You guys can do this. Come on. I believe in
Any
you.
other discussion? And do we all agree the plaque?
We'll discuss.
I think
it.
that's what we have to
That'll be the
discuss.
consideration.
All right.
We all agree it will be discussed.
And when we make sure, let's discuss how big that plaque should be, because I'm sure he wants it big. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All right. Great meeting. Thank you, everyone. Let's go to Mardi Gras. Meeting adjourned.
Run, run, run.